So for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, this is Probellum Revolution's main event. Let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing black with red, and weighing in officially at 111 1/2 pounds. His professional record, a perfect one. Pardon me, his professional record is in the blue corner, wearing white with gold, weighing in at 111 1/2 pounds. His professional is indeed a perfect one. 16 fights, 16 victories, 9 wins by knockout from General Santos City, Philippines, the IBF mandatory challenger, the #1 ranked contender in the world, Jason Smasher and his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing black with red, also weighing in at 111 pounds. His record also perfect. 16 victories, 16 wins, 4 wins by knockout from Croydon, London, United Kingdom, making the first defense of his world title, the reigning, defending, undefeated IBF flyweight champion of the world, Showtime, Sonny Edwards.
Remember, knock it in the back, knock it in the back, no low blows. All right, good fight.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Introductions are done. The time for talking is done. It's time to go walking. As I said in the pre-build-up, this is Bull versus Matador. Both men, identical records, undefeated through 16 fights apiece. Mama's got the higher percentage knockout ratio. Sonny Edwards has sensational footwork. The inaugural Probellum Revolution main event is underway. Sonny Edwards in the black shorts, taking on Jason Mama in the all white. Cagey start, as expected. Just having a look at each other. Nice stiff jab there from Sonny Edwards. But Mama, as I've said all week, has been incredibly confident. And he's been waiting for this opportunity for a long, long time. He's here now with a chance to throw his name in amongst the big boys in this division.
I like the jab from Edwards. He's landed it a couple of times, been successful with it, but he's just trying to control the pace and judge the distance really well with his feet and everything off the jab.
Switches to southpaw. You'll see that quite a lot throughout the course of the fight. Loves fighting out of either stance. Sometimes even fights square. And back into orthodox. Good shot from Sonny Edwards over the top there.
Just steps out of range, really nice, Sonny Edwards. Just enough out of distance, he doesn't waste anything.
I think that's the thing that Jason Mama's got to get to terms with relatively quick. That range situation where you don't want to be falling in, you don't want to be reaching too much. Sonny Edwards' reactions are tip-top. He's just got to bide his time, Jason Mama. The thing is, when you're fighting someone like Sonny Edwards, you can get frustrated very, very quickly. And as you can see, he's already back in that southpaw stance, liking it. Nice from Mama. Nice work to the body.
The problem with facing somebody like Sonny Edwards is just getting started. Good shot,
Good shot from Sonny. Good shot from Sonny Edwards. Nice overhand right. Just reached in. Caught him clean.
That one rung the bell. Mama felt that, he really did. But the problem is, you get in there with Sonny Edwards and you realise that no amount of sparring that you've done can prepare you for the way he fights. You know, he seamlessly goes from southpaw back to orthodox, and it can be tricky, it's annoying. You're chasing shadows most of the time. See Mama there already, pulling his arms apart as if to say, come on, let's fight.
Sonny Edwards just squaring up there, up against the ropes, and allowed him just to land a straight one to the stomach. Interestingly, this week in the fight meeting, when I was speaking to Sonny, who, if anybody's ever spoken to Sonny Edwards, you know full well that he's an incredibly confident young man. Very eloquent as well when he does speak. But he was saying that I don't have a picture of the fight really in my head. I'm reactionary. I get in there, I have a look, I try to download the data for 3 or 6 minutes, and then we go from there.
He's not the biggest of punches, obviously, so he's not going to go in there expecting, you know, I'm going to knock him out. The reality is, I know I'm going to get 3, 6, 9 minutes to judge him and to work him out. And that's that old saying in boxing, you know, have a look, feel him out, see what it is. Just have a look first round, see what it is. He does that anyway without, you know, studying when he has the information in front of him to study the fighters. I bet he's probably only watched about 5 or 6 minutes of Mama, and I think he told us that anyway, you know, and I genuinely believed him. Some fighters say it and they lie, but I think he's for real.
From Mama's point of view, Nick, obviously this is the big show. He's waited for this for a long period of time.
Yeah.
And another one from Sonny Edwards there, landing a nice right hand.
2 round the back of the head. So we're only just starting the second round and already Mama's getting frustrated.
Yeah, and I was just about to say, that's the thing that he shouldn't be doing. He's got to stay calm, he's got to stay patient if he's going to have any success against Sonny Edwards in this particular fight. Got to stick to his game plan. But as I keep telling you, it's a lot easier said than done when Sonny Edwards is there. Because you can't hit what you can't see.
And then he'll come in and steal a couple of shots like that and then get back up and frustrate you. And that's what wins him a lot of fights. Is he's a talented lad. Really good at judging the distance.
You can hear the instruction. The Sonny Edwards corner, those distinctive Sheffield tones. He's getting frustrated, Mama, you can tell already.
Yeah.
With a little bit of the dirty stuff as these guys come together and start clinching. He just landed a couple. Earlier on in the round, just a couple on the back of the head as well. Sonny's just got to stay on his game. As does Mama.
It's cut.
Clash of
It was a
heads.
head clash.
I think it was a clash of heads.
Yeah.
But that...
It's an awkward position. That's in the hairline now.
But it's running down over that right eye.
We'll try and get you a replay of that, the exact moment. But in that exchange there, it didn't look like Mama landed anything clean. It did, and with the position of the cut, a head cut.
There's another punch around the back of the head. Another one.
Edwards corner not happy at all. He's moaning about the elbow in the corner, Grant Smith.
Fight like this, you need a strong referee, and we're going to find out whether we've got one in the next few moments. He keeps dabbing at that cut on the top of his head. It's obviously causing him some type of concern. Paul, you've been in this situation where there's claret all over the place. And at the moment that it happens, obviously you start thinking about it, take your eye off the game. He's got to just trust his corner. He's just got to fight the fight and hope that when he gets back in a couple of minutes' time, his corner can sort the situation out for him.
For sure. Let Paul Weir earn his money tonight, but that cut's going to be difficult to locate first and foremost. It's in the hair, it's in his hairline, so you're going to have to, it's harder to work with, it's more difficult to deal with. I've had one there, it's not nice. The blood will flow straight into your eyes. If it's round the side of the eye, it can flow down the side, but it's going to flow in his eyes. This is a scrappy, messy fight now, and we need to see this referee step up to the plate.
He's got to get a grip of this fight because it is getting messy. Sonny Edwards finishing that round there with a nice overhand right, but let's see if we can get some pictures on the situation there with the cut. And we'll try and bring you some pictures as well as the moment that it happened. Here we go. Little exchange in the centre of the ring. Yeah,
Bang.
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go, right on the forehead.
You could even tell by Mama's reaction, you
Yeah,
know, he winced
he knew.
a little bit as well. He knew as
He knew.
well. Listen, it's in the hairline, so hopefully if they can stop it bleeding and get some Vaseline on it, it shouldn't necessarily play a big impact in the remainder of the fight. It was just difficult in that round because obviously Sonny doesn't know where the cut is. It's going into his eye, it's distressing, and it turned into a little bit of a barroom brawl at one point there. That's the last thing Sonny Edwards needs this fight to be.
Yeah.
He's got to get back on his box and he's got to keep doing what he was doing in the first round. This is playing into Mama's hands a little bit. They'll get that cut sorted, settle him down, go back to his boxing.
The beauty of it being in the top of the head, you can overload with the Vaseline, whereas they'll tell you to take some off the eyes or the eyebrows. When it's in the top of the head, you can literally pack it on.
There you go, we're into the third round.
The heads are going to come close an awful
Just
lot
the
tonight,
style.
you know, the way with the styles are clashing.
Just the style, the way that these two guys are just meshing together, you can tell that there's going to be a lot of work for the referee to get his hands on tonight. And if we want to see the fight that we believe that this fight could be, the referee's got to be strict.
But with all due respect, Jason Mama's got to make it a tough fight. He's got to make it a war. So, you know, he's got to use these tactics to spoil the switch hitter, because the switch hitter will dance around you all night if you let him. He's got to close the distance, he's got to tie it up, he's got to make it an ugly fight.
Good shot there from Mama. If I'm Sonny Edwards, then if I'm Sonny Edwards' team, I'm telling them to stay on the back foot. Don't go looking for it. Just stay on the back foot. Force Mama to come and try and take the title from you. Make him miss, make him pay. When Sonny Edwards is chasing it, the heads are clashing. They're coming together because he's lunging in. That's better.
Much better there from Sonny Edwards. Two, as he swayed out of the way of the onslaught from Mama, he managed to clip Mama a couple of times.
Mama round the back of the head again.
Good shot from Mama. Lovely right hand from Mama, just landing on the side of Sonny's head. And as Nick Pete said a moment or two ago, Mama has to spoil it. He's got to make it ugly. And right now, he's having moderate success with that. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out as we go along. Sonny Edwards back into that southpaw stance. And again, just clips Mama with a right. Gives each other both a bit of a smile there. Mama acknowledging, yeah, fair play, Sunshine, you got me. There's a sense, and I don't know whether this is being felt by you two, there's a sense there, even though he's landing shots and he's having success there, Sonny, that he himself is getting a touch frustrated with what Mama's doing. Yeah. He's just having a chat with the referee. He's just got to keep his head in the game.
He's getting shoved in the face, he's getting elbowed, he's getting the head thrown in, he's getting roughed up. He's got to not let it get to him, as daft as that sounds. He's got to stay composed. Lovely shot there from Sonny Edwards. Mama took it well.
Mama's wobbling here. Mama's had a little bit of distress there for a second.
And Sonny senses it. Lovely right hand again from Sonny Edwards, who sensed that Mama was feeling a little bit of something from that earlier exchange and tried to put it on him a touch. Another lovely right hand.
Mama's in trouble. Wow, Mama's in real trouble there. He swallowed that shot.
He had a look over at his corner there. His eyes widened a touch. Sonny Edwards, solid round for him here. Landed a lot of good shots.
Huge right hands.
Clever stuff from Edwards at the end of the round. The round's won with them. I catch the shot. Back off. Don't engage.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what the situation. I know that you're currently looking at the pictures there of Sonny Edwards just having that cut attended to, which is in the hairline at the top there. Him electing, by the way, not to sit, standing throughout every gap in between the rounds. I'm just looking over at Jason Mama's situation. He must be thinking, I thought you told me that this guy can't punch, because he's landed a couple on me and he's rung me bell a couple of times.
Yeah. He's listening to, he's looking at us. Corner, but I don't know whether he's listening to his corner at the moment. I think he's realising now that
he's in a fight.
He's in a real fight, exactly.
He was definitely hurt, especially that second right hand that landed.
The thing is, if Jason Mama has got any sense about him, or his corner have got any sense, they've got to understand that the guy that they're fighting could comfortably beat them on a 12 over a 12-round period. Sonny Edwards has done the exact right thing. He's landed a couple of shots, and again, to ring his bell, to kind of deter him a little bit. He can't be put off, Mama. If he's going to have success tonight, if he's going to win the world title, he can't be put off. He's got to put himself at risk to win the fight.
Just sticking to orthodox now, Sonny. I don't know if it's to protect that cut, to try and keep the blood from out of his eyes or what, but just seems to be most comfortable at orthodox now. I think he realises that right hand over the top has been really successful for him. Mama's wide open for it. Mama's just slowed down a touch, Paul, as well, maybe feeling that last round.
He was definitely hurt. The shot buzzed him.
He's just flipped back into southpaw, Sonny, there.
See, when Mama reaches, that's what Edwards wants. He wants Mama to overreach, step out of range, counter, and then get back on your bike. Try not to engage too much. Good shot.
Another lovely right hand from Sonny Edwards. Just step back a touch before he cracked Mama on the way in. Again, the pace has just dropped just a touch in this round.
Sorry, this is where he's brilliant. He judges the distance so well. If Mama shoots from there now and falls short, he's getting counted because he's in perfect range. Mama has to go and then go again.
Oh, he just got caught with the left hand there. The knees buckled just a touch on Sonny Edwards. Jason Mama looking to maybe pile it on, coming up towards 50 seconds remaining of the fourth round. He definitely just rang Sonny Edwards' bell. Edwards there in the southpaw stance, looking just to get back on the game. But the eye-catching shot in this round coming from Jason Mama. Lovely jab. Excellent. Lovely jab from Sonny Edwards. Lovely shot from Sonny Edwards off the back. The thing is, in a fight like this where Sonny Edwards has got such great reactions, if you're watching Jason Mama there, he always has to be in a stationary situation where the feet are planted before he's throwing, and Sonny Edwards' reactions are absolutely red hot. He can see that coming a mile off. Yeah. As you were saying, it's not about just going once, it's going several times in order to get some success against him.
For Mama to win this fight and to have more success, he either has to hope that Sonny Edwards did what he did in the second round and engage and commit too much, clash of heads, Messi style elbow head, a bit of rough stuff going in, or he has to go and then go again, because Edwards is brilliant at judging the distance. He's staying just out of range but not too far. We see a lot of fighters in the miles away from the opponent. He stays just where he's safe. The minute Mama commits, Sonny takes a tiny step back and he's in range to counter every time. So he has to go and go again, Mama, to have any success. For me, Edwards is judging the distance really well and countering Mama really well as he's coming in.
Into the fifth.
Good shot.
Excellent. The fight at times in the early stages got ugly. Sonny Edwards, as you can see, got a little nick in his hairline. Blood running down the side of his face. That came from a head clash in the second. But it seems to have settled down a touch, and there's a nice little rhythm now to the fight.
This is where I mean about Sonny Edwards. Look at the distance. He's never too far away. He's always within range, just out of range by a few inches. And as soon as Mama commits, step back, counter.
Keep the rhythm. That's it. Open the gap, open the gap. That's it.
He's just second-guessing himself, Mama, now every time he goes to leap forward because he knows that right-hand lead from Edwards can ring his bell.
Mama did then throw a wonderful shot, lovely looking shot over the way and overhand right, but it was caught beautifully by Sonny Wee's hand. He slipped underneath it and then just popped in with a lovely body shot. And again, Sonny Edwards now decided to put on a little bit of show. Both men having a dance-off, it seems, in the middle of the ring. Always entertaining on a Saturday night. But it's important that you stay focused. World Championship fight.
Good shot. That shot again.
Wherever you're consuming this around the world, welcome to it. The Revolution from Probellum, inaugural show, first ever men event. Sonny Edwards defending his IBF Flyweight World Championship, first defence against his mandatory challenger, Jason Mama.
Oh, that was a great shot. He's enjoying himself.
Yeah. Before he threw that nice two-punch combination, I was going to say it's rare that he throws them. He's always first and third or first and last.
Yeah.
It's very rare he throws a couple together.
And the importance of that, Paul, when you're talking about judging a fight, you kind of then dilute what happens in the middle. The meat and the sandwich goes out the way, you just remember the bread.
Yeah, I'm going to land first and I'm going to land last. I'm going to catch the eye first and I'm going to catch the eye of the judges last by finishing the combination.
Oh, yes! Lift his head, lift his head! What's he doing? Come on, shut up.
Coming up to 10 seconds remaining, the clacker will go. Little signal for the boys to maybe put a little bit of a flurry on there, see if they can catch the eye of the judges. But it's Sonny Edwards that's doing the work. The wheels are working well tonight.
He's enjoying himself now, isn't he? He's in that rhythm that Jason Mama's got to get him out of if he's going to find a way back into this fight. He's got to do something big. The problem is every time he sets his feet and every time he looks to go, he knows that right hand over the top, and that's the biggest punch of the fight. That's the fight that's catching the eyes of the judges most, is Sonny Edwards, counter right, over the top, clean on Mama's chin. He keeps doing it time after time, and that's making Mama, who I think came into this fight thinking, this guy's got no power. Once I get going, I'll run through him. But the finding is, Edwards may not have a lot of knockouts, but the speed of that punch catches people out so much, rings that bell.
There might be devastating knockout power, but there's enough power. There's enough power there to hurt you and to sting you at this level.
Mama's corner really trying to motivate him in there, aren't they? Rubbing his head, you know, really trying to engage with him and tell him to get going.
Well, they've got to do something to break the rhythm of this fight. Early doors, it seemed to have worked. It seemed to be nice and rough and horrible, which Jason Mama needed to make. But Sonny Edwards, over the last couple of rounds, has just established some type of rhythm, and as Paul Smith and Nick Peter pointed out on this commentary this evening for Probellum, he's just managed now to establish that distance and master it a touch. And Jason Mama's got to do something just to disturb the rhythm of Sonny Edwards.
Sonny Edwards, to a lot of people in this division, will be a nightmare to face because of how he is. He will frustrate you. He'll make you fall short. He'll make you pay. You think he's going to just counter, and all of a sudden he'll rush you with 1, 2, 3, and then land, hold you, tie you up. He's very good at nullifying you.
He's leading the dance at the moment.
Yep.
And as you pointed out a couple of times, Nick, he seems to be enjoying this dance.
Yeah, it's starting to turn into a little bit of a masterclass, isn't it? You know, if I was Jason Mama's corner, I'd say, listen, let's go back to what you did in round 2. Let's make it ugly. Let's get your elbows in there, your head in there, because the referee never stopped that. Jason Mama himself cleaned up his act a little bit, but he was unsettling Sonny Edwards. To have any success, he needs to get back to that kind of Jason Mama. I just don't know whether he's been caught a couple of times and he's just making him second guess whether he wants to get involved.
What I'm really enjoying, Paul, and you'll obviously be able to give us more insight on this, his use of feints.
Yeah.
The way that he goes, stops, feints, then goes again. Jason Mama doesn't know what he's reading.
No. And listen, the way boxing is, if this is a top middleweight world champion, he's singing his praises so much more. It's because it's the lower weight, it's the lighter weights. With all due respect to them, not many average fans wish to watch fighters in this weight unless they're devastating punches. This is a masterclass at the moment, the way he's boxing. He's boxing really well.
Yeah.
And the skill set to be able to do this at this level, you have to respect this so much.
I'm also enjoying, and I know this is the ugly side of the game, early doors, Jason Mama was the man that was dictating the rough stuff. And he's still dictating the rough stuff, but Sonny's giving him as good as he can get when it does go on the inside like that. There's a little bit of rubbing of the old palms, let's say, in each other's faces, trying to annoy each other. But when it's at distance like this, Sonny Edwards is putting on a little bit of a show.
Yeah. Again, it just comes down to the fact Jason Mama's undefeated in his career. Never lost a fight in 16 fights. Hundreds of amateur fights as well. He feels like he's clocked the game. He feels like he's a world-class fighter, and he could be a world champion because he's won all his fights so far.
Brilliant shot there over the top.
But he's getting in here with Sonny Edwards. He's never seen a fighter like this before. He's never faced a man like Sonny Edwards before, because few people can box the way Sonny Edwards does. And that's frustrating for Jason Mama. He's waited his entire life to get here, and now he's got here. The guy in front of him, he's never seen anything like it.
When you're in ringside for a fight like this, and I hope that this is coming through with the television pictures, which, by the way, look absolutely tremendous. Great work from the production team. If you're listening, boys and girls, you're doing a cracking job. But when you're ringside like this, and you see an elite fighter as we are watching with Sonny Edwards, his understanding of where he is at any given time in the ring, and what that then means for his opponent at any given time, is astounding. You watch, for example, when he's moving back in towards the corners, I can see, being in the ringside position, the fortunate one that I'm in right now, I can see Jason Mama's eyes light up. Sonny Edwards knows that. He's out the back door. You've not even seen it.
He wants you there. He's always aware of where he is in the ring, and that's one of the first things the top coaches teach you when you get onto like the GB team or your national team if you're in a different country, is about where you are in the ring. When you feel them ropes, don't let your leg touch the ropes. Anticipate it and move first. And he wants to draw you into him, but all this comes back to what I was saying at the start of the fight, how well he judges that distance. And to do that and to have the confidence to stay just out of range, you've got to have a lot of faith in your reactions and your abilities, which, as we've learned in Fight Week through listening to him, he has supreme confidence in his own abilities.
Jason Mama needs something. Right now, he needs something, because he's on the verge of a very wide point defeat in this world title fight. He's got his opportunity. He's waited a long time, earned the opportunity to get to this stage, and right now, as we are coming up to 2 minutes remaining of the 7th round, he needs something big.
For me, he's got to stop trying to counter Edwards. You're not going to beat him to the second punch. He's trying to counter every shot that comes his way. He has to lead off, and he has to.
I'm just letting the action speak for itself, ladies and gentlemen.
This is the sweet side.
I really hope you're enjoying this as much as I am. I know I'm not saying anything. I know there's no energy coming out of my microphone because I'm just in awe of the way that this fella moves around the ring with beautiful footwork and embarrasses his opponents. Listen, his opponent's still in it because he can hit hard. There's no doubt about that, and it only takes one shot. There's no doubt about that, and he could land something at some point over the next few rounds and cause Sonny Edwards a little bit of a problem. We've seen it before in a Sonny Edwards fight, but right now he looks switched on. Sonny looks switched on. He looks right invested in what his work is, and he seems to be having a whale of a time. That was beautiful.
You can hear the advice from the corner, can't you? Yeah. No power. They want to just flick them shots out, catch him and move, and just box, just the box and listen. That's what they want him to give out. And at the moment, it's frustrating to see, but a fighter of Mama's level, he's fallen for it every time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the one thing that's going through his brain right now. He can't understand what's happening. You know, his entire career has led to this point, and he's been undefeated, and suddenly he's got here, and nothing he has done previously seems to be working. He's punching a lot of shadows. He can't pin Edwards down. He can't get those body shots going. That would probably discussed as being so important, and his corner team just keeps shouting to him, go forward, go forward, go forward, but he's going forward and just getting countered and getting picked up.
I think there's a glitch in the matrix, lads. I don't know how a man can move in those type of shapes and speeds as this young chap right now. As Paul pointed out, listen, if we're talking about a guy in a heavier weight class, we're talking superstar stuff. For us, as hardcore boxing fans, he's a superstar, and I just hope that under the work here that he's been doing with his promotional team and shows like this, he gets an opportunity to really kick on and fight in the venues and around the world, just in general, to be able to be worshipped as he should be, because we're talking about an elite sports star in front of us.
Okay. Always aware.
He's got a style that you can't necessarily teach. You can't take a kid off the streets and teach him to fight like this. It's in him. This is how he expresses himself. He's like an artist, he's like a poet, except his canvas is literally the ring canvas. You know, clearly he's born to do this, and he's got that inner confidence. And I think his confidence went even higher when he won the world title. I truly believe that. I believe him when he says, I'm going to unify this division, I'm going to go down as an all-time great, because when he's in the groove like this, when he's moving the way he is, he could do this all night.
We've spoke over the years, Nick, over the last decade or so, about right from amateur level for the first amateur national title to professionals winning the world title. When a fighter wins a championship, the next fight or the next season, they're a different fighter.
Yep.
Yeah.
They've got that belief, they've got that extra added 10-20% what they'd never had because of the champion. We're seeing that a little bit tonight with Edwards, his ability levels. It's scary, some of the things he's doing. He's making it look really easy. And Mama,
He's good.
Is playing into his hands. He's a good fighter, but he's just falling for it every time.
Yeah.
The only concern that I had was the difference in mentality when it comes from being the hunter to the hunted. And obviously this is his first title defence, so we're finding out in front of our eyes that the mentality hasn't changed. And as you've rightfully said, Paul, it's probably gone up 10-20% because I think he likes the fact that he's champion and the target is on his back. That was decent from Mama. He's just landed a couple there in the body. That'll give him a touch of confidence because he managed to land a couple. Just interested to see the final minute or so of this round, just to see if Mama can capitalise on that solid work or whether Sonny's going to get on his bike again.
He has to hurt Edwards, Mama. He's got no other option now, I think. The rounds are going away from slowly. He's targeting the body this round,
yeah.
And I think that's good for him. He needs to keep targeting the body. He needs to land a big shot and ask some questions of Edwards.
'Cause his left side, he drops his left hand, get all off his left. He walk away from his backhand. Yes, good line.
30 seconds remaining of the 8th round. Jason Mama needs some type of momentum. He needs some momentum to get himself back into the fight. He needs maybe Sonny Edwards to slow down or switch off in order to land the things that he's throwing. Because right now, it's all looking just a little bit too predictable from him. And he's on the verge. Both of them having a little bit of a dance and a smile and a kiss and a cuddle. Right, off you go. Go and get your water. We'll see you in a couple. We'll see you in a minute or so. He needs something big, does Mama, doesn't he, Paul? He needs to change the momentum somehow. And as you've rightfully said, go again, and throw.
It's frustrating, man. You're the man to challenge for the IBF Championship of the world. You should be a good fighter. more importantly, you should be good enough to know that that is not working. Change it up.
Yes.
You need something different, but his corner need to tell him to switch it up and change it now. You've tried countering him, you're not going to counter him. You're missing with your counters because he's hitting you and he's pushing out the range. So you've tried roughing him up and it worked a bit better, but you need more now. Yeah. I think he needs to change it up and do something different. And for me, he has to finish last. He has to have the last say in every argument in this next round. He's got to do something different because this is going to be a shutout, in my opinion, on my card. And he's not doing enough. He's becoming more and more demoralised as the fight goes on, and he's disheartened as it goes on, and then that will play into Edwards' hands even more.
Sonny's performance so far as well has just shell-shocked the crowd. I think there's a huge Filipino crowd in here, and they're quiet as a mouse. I think they're sitting here who can't believe what they're seeing, because they genuinely thought Jason Mama was going to be champion of the world tonight, and what they're seeing is a masterclass from Sonny Edwards.
That's it. Protect yourself. Gonna charge. Backhand. He's backhand.
We've not seen it in the past, but is there any danger of Sonny Edwards slowing down?
Listen, he tells us, and he has told us all week, how dedicated he is to his craft, how fit he is, how many rounds of sparring he does with different fighters, all heavier than him, round after round. And it's showing because there's been no signs of him slowing in this fight.
I'm just thinking, with obviously this fight being a rearranged fight from September, he had an ankle injury, he needed a little bit of physio and a bit of work done on it in order to get himself back. He will have missed a little bit of work. Listen, I might be clutching at straws. I'm just trying to think of something that might happen over the next few moments in order to give Jason Mama a little bit of hope, Nick.
He doesn't waste much, Sonny, though, does he? You know, he makes you work so hard. Mama's put so much effort into this fight with so little reward. His punch stats must be crazy, you know, what's landed compared to what he's through. Whereas Sonny Edwards, I would argue, has landed pretty much everything power-wise through. Like that shot, he's landing it. He doesn't waste anything. And even though he's not smiling, this is his happy place. You know, he'd rather be here right now in a boxing ring than anywhere else in the world.
Referee just having a word with Mama, who just had a little bit of a clip of Sonny as he was told to break.
Adam, and he's done it so many times now. And I think Edwards actually shouted how many times, ref, you know. Ref shouts break, Sonny relaxes, and then Mama swings one round the side.
Chasing you now. Keep him chasing. Keep him chasing.
Nice. Lovely shot.
Excellent.
Lovely shot.
That's the rhythm of your race. Keep moving though. Move.
I'm sorry for laughing. If you're watching this at home, and maybe you're not a boxing fan, maybe you've just come along because it's the inaugural Probellum show, and you thought, what's all this Probellum stuff that people keep talking about? What is it? Well, you're finding out what it is tonight. Oh my days. You are finding it out tonight. You are witnessing one of the best fighters on the planet put on a little bit of a show. That is what you are seeing. And I feel for Jason Mama because he's no mug. This is a kid that has earned the opportunity to fight for a world title. He's undefeated through 16 fights. He's beaten some good guys to get to this stage. He's the mandatory challenger. Therefore, according to the IBF, he's the second best fighter in their sanctioning body. The second best. This geezer, who's the champion, I don't think he's from this world. He must come from a different planet. Because the difference between the pair of them, the way that they're going about their business over what we've seen so far through 10 rounds, has been extremely wide.
Yep. Again, you're running out of superlatives to describe the performance. You know, if Sonny had a bit more punch, had a bit heavier hands, and he was putting more people over, I tell you what, he would be a global star, you know. I think he is a little bit of a purist boxer, you know. If you love boxing, if you love this game, you love this sport, then how can you not sit back and be watching Sonny Edwards now thinking, wow, this is the sweet science, this is as good as it gets.
When I was fighting, I tried to be a box puncher. I like to tear up, I like the body shot. I couldn't do this, what Sonny Edwards was doing, so I appreciate it more.
Yeah.
I respect it so much because I couldn't do that in a million years. If I had 10 lifetimes to be a professional boxer again, I could never do that and box the way he boxes.
Paul, in your career, have you ever been, whether it be professionally, amateur, in the sparring situations with somebody as elusive as this? If so, how does it make you feel?
So I fought Andre Ward, and that old saying, I could have thrown a boxer a handful of rice at him and I wouldn't have hit him, you know what I mean? He was so good shot.
That's a knockdown,
Good
definitely.
shot, yeah.
Definite knockdown. That was a right hand.
He's claiming that it's the back of the head, is Jason Manor.
No way.
I'd have to have a look at the monitor once again. He's claiming it, but the referee's awarded the knockdown. He took the count, and up we go again.
Over his lead. Don't hold your feet. Don't hold your feet. Come on, switch on. Oh, his head,
Just see. We saw in earlier fights where there was knockdowns, there was opponents hurt, and now what you're seeing is a man that doesn't get giddy, doesn't get greedy, just goes about his work.
You can hear Grant Smith in the corner shouting, Sonny, don't step in, just stand your ground. Just wait, let Mama fall in short.
Concentrate, Sonny. Grab over his lead. He's lost his head. Focused. Feet. Yes, feet. Don't want you to hold your feet. Come on, move those feet. Doing exactly over his lead. Over his lead. Yes, over his lead. Let's get a sweep. Good lad. Brilliant. Good lad. He's loading up his backhand, look. See it? Yes.
It's exactly the same every single time from Mama. And listen, I would love us to get a little bit of interpretation of what is going on in his corner so we can understand the instruction that is coming his way. But surely it can't be, Paul. It can't be. Keep doing the same thing because you're getting success. Because he's not getting success, so he's got to do something to change it.
As Nick pointed out earlier, he was hurt earlier, I think. I think he was buzzed up earlier. That could be all that could explain the reason why he hasn't changed and tried to switch it up. Because it's been the same thing most rounds, as you say, and it's got him nowhere. And he needed to switch up about 4 rounds earlier.
Going back to your earlier point, Paul, we kind of slightly saw it there. He went again, and then he managed to land the body shot. It was only a single one, but he kind of got it done there, Jason Mama. Sadly, he doesn't win the round, not on our unofficial scorecard. But he's got 6 minutes to do something that I don't think anybody in this Coca-Cola arena in the middle of Dubai, and I'm sure not anybody watching this around the world, wherever you're consuming the first Propeller main event, can see coming. Sonny Edwards there, just a few pictures of the knockdown, just landed around the back of the ear. But a legit knockdown, and obviously that round there scored as a 10-8. Just in our commentary position, the man that sang the national anthem a little earlier on, Abdul Rozik. He's just alongside us, just giving him the wink, and he's put his fist up. I don't know whether he's offering me a fight or he's just telling me that he's enjoying the action. I think it's the latter. I hope it's the latter. He looks like he's got quick hands. I'll stick out of the way of that. But here we go. We've got 6 minutes remaining of the fight. Sonny Edwards is coasting through to a wide points decision victory on our unofficial scorecards. Jason Mama needs to do something to change the tide, to change his life. He needs to have some type of thing in his head where he's going, this is the IBF Championship of the World, this is my moment, and I'm about to take it by doing something that I've not shown so far.
Mama's corner absolutely red in the riot act at the start.
Feet just got tangled up a touch there, didn't they?
Yeah, just to come out for this round, he read in the riot act. They've said to him, listen, you know, without an interpreter, it's hard to say, but I'm sure they said, listen, you've thrown this away. You need to knock him out. You're going to have to gamble. You're going to have to let your hands go in bunches.
Loading up now, look again. He's coiling up. Move.
Normally, I'm critical of fighters at a good level of how they lack the knowledge to cut people off. Mamet is a different story. He's trying his best to cut him off. Sonny Edwards is just so good at not being cut off. He knows where he is in the ring every time. Every time Mamet tries to step to his left, Sonny's already around him, Sonny Edwards, and he's just so good at with his feet, distance.
Listen, I know that if you're used to watching boxing on a regular occasion and championship boxing and listening to commentators talk about various fights and talk you through fights, there's nothing worse than a loving. There isn't. There's nothing worse than a commentating loving. I can't help this. I can't help it, all right? Yeah, I'll take the abuse on social media if you want it, but I can't help but wax lyrical about what I'm watching.
Listen, let's be straight. I would much prefer to watch an absolute barnstorm and a war.
Of course.
Head on each other's head or heads on chest, banging away for 5, 6, 7, 8 rounds, getting the stoppage. But this, you can't help but appreciate how easy Sonny Edwards is making this look. And boxing ability-wise, and to be able to do this to a fighter who's the #1 challenger for the IBF title,
Yeah.
you know, it takes a lot to be able to do this, and you have to respect it.
The referee's got to say something there. He's got to say something there, because that's probably the 10th, 11th, maybe even 12th time that Mamet, when they've come together like that, he just throws a shot on the break.
Yeah, after the break, not even on the break.
Referee must feel sorry for him. I thought, well, go on, lad. You can have it.
They're the only shots he's landed clean. If it wasn't for those shots.
Every time he overreaches, little fake.
Sonny Edwards wanted to land that big overhand left there, just waiting for something to come in. He's trying to bait Jason Mamet. Yeah, he just gobbed off at me. He said, are you having that? He just looked at me and went, you having that? I said, mate, I've had all 11 rounds, pal. I've enjoyed every minute of it. Anyway.
We know what's coming. We know what's coming in this third round. Jason Mamet's got to throw the kitchen sink. He's got to come out and throw everything he's possibly got. Because he's got himself to the top of the mountain. He's got himself into a world title shot that was been delayed, you know, because of other issues. That somebody else, he complained, Sonny Edwards has got my belt. I should have got this opportunity before him. Well, the opportunity's here now, and he just hasn't been able to land a decent glove on Sonny Edwards all night. He's got to impose himself. At this point in time, he's got to roll that dice. He's got to get this Filipino strong crowd up out of their seats behind him to try and land something, anything.
Mamet's a top lad. We met him this week.
Brilliant.
He's got a fantastic personality. He's a kid with a degree in culinary art, so he's good in the kitchen. He's also studying in the Philippines, along with his brother, by the way, who he said is also a boxer. Both of them studying at the moment and training to become police officers. So already thinking about other careers as well as alongside of his boxing career. And I just want to repeat to the folks that are watching around the world, he is no mug. He is a good fighter. He's earned the opportunity to be in the ring with Sonny Edwards. But Sonny Edwards is just at this moment in time in a different rhythm. He's in a completely different zone, and he's putting on a bit of a show. And even though I'm a massive Sonny Edwards fan, I sit here, I'm a little bit gutted for Jason Mamet, because I wanted him to have moments. I wanted him to go away from this particular fight with something to hold on to. But Sonny Edwards is in the rhythm.
Yeah, this is one of those losses where, you know, in a lot of ways he'd have been better off. He probably preferred to have just been caught early and put out, because being embarrassed for 12 rounds, you know, chasing shadows for 12 rounds is tough. You know, you go away, you get back to the Philippines, and you look yourself in the mirror, and you're not the, you know, in your own eyes, you're not the fighter you thought you was. You thought you were about to become champion of the world.
Yeah. And listen, we all know that there's a lot tougher fights out there for Edwards. But, you know, the rankings speak for themselves. He's top 5, top 4 Ring Magazine belt. Ring Magazine rankings, and that's the one he wants.
Yeah.
We spoke to him in the fighting meetings. He said it himself. He wants the Ring Magazine. He wants to win all the belts. He wants to move up and win them at the weight above. And we said, you know, a lot of other people, you think they're deluded. With him, you believe him.
He thinks he's
wants
hurting.
to do it, and he genuinely believes that he will do it.
A little bit of a flurry there from Sonny Edwards. As we enter the final minute of this fight, there's absolutely no need to do anything daft, but Jason Mama's got 1 minute to throw something that lands that nobody's seen coming for the previous moments of this fight.
Unfortunately for Jason Mama, Sonny Edwards has seen everything he's thrown all night.
A split second faster than anyone else, yeah.
He had him down in the 10th, and there was a little bit of argy-bargy early doors in the fight where Sonny Edwards suffered a cut because of a clash of heads, where there was a brief moment of trepidation for everybody in the stadium that had come to support Sonny and thought, how's that going to play out? But Sonny Edwards is absolutely feeling himself right now. Can't do anything daft. With the clapper's about to go with 10 seconds remaining. The referee separates him for final time.
His brother Charlie, obviously, buddy, behind us has counted down from the last minute.
Yeah.
60, 50, 40. Just see the final bell.
Listen, you know what it's like. It's horrible watching your siblings fight. Absolutely horrible. But Grant's in the ring there, his coach. Sonny Edwards consoles Jason Mama, as does Grant Smith. Listen, that was an absolute masterclass. We're here in Prevellum to get the best against the best. That's what we want to see.
Yeah.
Yeah? Unifications. Julio Cesar Martinez. You want it? Let's go. That's the fight.
Yeah.
That's the fight in this division. Him versus Sonny Edwards would be an absolute crackerjack.
It will be, absolutely, and I think after a performance like that, when you do that to your mandatory contender like that, the manner of that performance, a 12-round shutout on my card, but actually there was a 10-8 round in there as well, just to make it even more affair. But when you do that, I think it's clear then, okay, it's time for unification. It's time to take on the very best in the division. Let's see how good this guy actually is. And I think after a performance like that, it will send ripples across the world. People in this weight class will go, okay, that kid's the guy. He looks fantastic. Get me in with him. Other champions will want this belt, will want to unify as well. So I think there's nothing but big fights ahead for Sonny Edwards and roll on 2022.
There's a little bit of personalistic there as well with Martinez and with his elder brother.
With his brother, yeah.
Although it got overturned, you know, he was so strong and ferocious that night, and then a couple of extra shots, foul play, naughty play, and thankfully it got overturned. And I'm sure he'll want to put the record straight just for that.
We all due respect to the officials that are just adjudicating. There's no need to mess about. We know who's won. Make sure that Michael Buffer's got the correct decision, and then he can set about announcing the situation to the world. Okay. Without any further ado, let's get into the ring for the official announcement from Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of boxing, we go to the scorecards. Vincent Dupal scores it 117 to 110. Mario Montella 118 to 109, and Frank Jackson has it 118 to 109, all to the winner by unanimous decision. And still the undefeated flyweight champion of the world, Sonny